Hello and welcome. My name is Peace Mitchell, and I am co founder of Women Changing the World Press. Before we begin today, I would like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of the land that I live and work on, the people of Mamu country in North Queensland. And I'd also like to pay my respects to traditional owners and elders, past and present, right across Australia and the Torres Strait. Well, I am so excited to be launching our brand new book, Dreams and Determination. And to help me celebrate, I'm very honored to have one of our fabulous co authors joining me, Katrina Buttigieg. Please join me on screen, Katrina.
Hi, Peace.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, before we begin,
So you go.
I was just going to say, before we begin, I would love you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about you and the work that you do.
Yep. Hi, my name's Kat Buttigieg or Katrina Buttigieg. I am a writer. Just at the moment, I'm sorry, I'm in Kakadu. We're on a family holiday doing a bit of a trip, so that's why I'm in the car. What do? I am a writer. I a blogger. I run a social enterprise. I am a mum, and I also facilitate creative writing classes. So I've had a few businesses over the years in different forms, but essentially I'm a writer, and that's what I love to do the most.
That's amazing. And so many incredible things that you are doing through your work. Now, your chapter is called Rewrite Your Story. Can you tell us why you chose this title for your chapter?
Yes, so as I said, I'm a writer, and on reflecting on my story and where I've come from, I thought essentially your life story is like a novel or a book, and basically you can rewrite your story. You don't have to. You may be in some sort of pattern, and I know that I found myself sort of doing the same things over and over and not really reflecting on where I was and what I wanted to actually be doing. So I was teaching, and I do love so many aspects of teaching, but I found myself getting sick all the time and had a lot of things sort of happening in my life where it sort of didn't really stop. I sort of got on the hamster wheel and didn't really stop and reflect about, why I wasn't well all the time, that sort of thing. So looking back and in hindsight, I can see how my story unraveled. And at some point I decided, yes, I wanted to rewrite my story and decide which direction I would like to take. So my chapter is about how you can edit your life, essentially. You can rewrite things. You don't have to always stay on the same track. So I found lots of similarities between writing a story or a novel and our lives and how we're living them.
I love that so much. And, we all have the power to change our lives and rewrite our story, but not everybody has the courage to do that. And you talk about the moment of realization in your chapter that you needed to change things. Can you tell us about that? What was the turning point for you to, take the leap from your very safe and secure teaching job into full-time writing?
Yes, look, there's lots of factors at play. So I had, and then some of those I didn't actually see until I reflected back. But a few things were I was doing some life coaching, which I'm sure was helping out with that. As I said, I was unwell all the time, and in hindsight, didn't know that they were migraines. And another thing was I had a close friend who is a writer, and he experienced a stroke, and seeing what he went through made me really, and I think that was one of the things that I didn't realize until later on, how significant that was and how that affected me. But seeing what my friend went through, and I had admired what he did for so long, and I just thought, and he was one of those people who he went for his go right from the beginning. So that was another big part of my deciding that, I wanted to be a writer since I was 6. I'd sort of been on this journey, and of course, all of that, becoming a teacher and doing all those things were part of that journey. But I sort of thought, well, life's short, and if you really want to do something, then, stop making excuses, and now's the time to do it. And for me, I'm not really the type of person I definitely was not a business person, and I definitely all business minded, and I wasn't one to make sort of big leaps or decisions like this, like just deciding to leave my safe job. So it was a big thing for me, and sort of not in line with my personality type at all. So it was a big thing for me, even though I think some people are that way inclined just generally. But all of those factors together really and made me reassess everything. So yes.
Yeah, amazing. In your chapter, you talk about the fact that you were inspired by lots of other people, particularly women, and people in your community. Can you tell us the role that other people played in shaping your journey?
Yes, sure. So I had noticed, and again, it's one of those things, I think it's going on all the time. You don't really necessarily tune into these things consciously, but a girl who grew up around the block from me, she'd started her own business as a celebrant, and I'd seen her in Instagram, and I just thought, she just really was loving what she was doing. And all aren't necessarily life-changing, or they may not look like they're changing the world, but I think all of these little things, just doing what people love to do. So she loved, she'd been through a lot in her life, and she enjoyed those. She sort of had lost someone as a young person, so she had been to a lot of funerals, and then she was also, so she does those as well as being a wedding celebrant. So seeing the joy she got from doing what she loved, doing what she was good at, which was really connecting with people who had these big events in her life, was amazing. And I think that inspired me. Then I had all these other women in my local community who I met through, some of them through sort of Ozmum and that sort of thing as well, who had also gone into the awards and other things. Again, some of them were just starting out with hobbies or a little side hustle, but seeing these women take on something that they loved and business, or make it into just a part of their lives that they could really enjoy and be their true self, was inspiring to me, and just made me think, well, if they can do it, why can't I do it? And I know other women have said that to me since starting my business. So I think even though, just starting my copywriting business doesn't seem like it's changing the world or it's this amazing thing, but all of these little things have a ripple effect. And I know that all these women that lady that I grew up, she probably doesn't even know that she had that effect, but all these little things, and seeing other women doing amazing things and doing what they love, can create a change. So I think it makes a difference.
Amazing. Yeah. Now, Katrina, in your chapter, you talk about the difference between a planner and a pantser. I would love you to first of all explain what a pantser is, and then tell us how you balance planning and pantsing in your own writing work.
Yes, so basically a pantser, when you're writing, a pantser is just like flying by the seat of your pants and starting a story and then just seeing where it takes you, not having any plan at all. And a planner, obviously, that writer would work out what's going to be in each chapter, and where the turning point is, and how the whole novel is mapped out. So I sort of came to the conclusion that I think in life we need a little bit of both is good. So it's good to have a plan, but sometimes plans change unexpectedly. Things are thrown our way that we don't know obviously are going to happen. So it's important to embrace both parts of that. So I like that part of writing terminology that I think we can apply to our lives every day as well.
Amazing. And you share that dreams are editable. So we all have dreams, but they're not necessarily fixed. Can you tell us about this?
Yes, sure. So when I left my teaching job and I started my copywriting business, I did that thinking that I also wanted to do a lot of creative writing on the side. And then I think I got caught up in trying to earn money through my copywriting business and was sort of, again, like when I was teaching, giving myself time for the creative writing that I would like to do. And so I was almost back in this another sort of hamster wheel type thing. And that made me reflect on what I was doing. And then I went back and I had to edit my life again and rethink what I was doing. And so now I'm doing less of the copywriting, more of the creative writing. And I also had one of the students that I had been teaching who was very interested in creative writing. I thought, gosh, I'd love to teach that as well, but I just couldn't see how that would fit into my life. And it's sort of funny because in the end, I sort of said to this student, I was like, you know what, yeah, I'll do a workshop. And then that turned into classes. And now I have this lovely group of kids that I see every week when I'm not traveling, and holiday workshops and things that I do. And it's interesting how I sort of I really resisted it. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. But when I got back into teaching again, something that I love, and I'm sort of helping these young writers on their writing journeys, I found so much joy in that. So again, I've sort of pivoted my business a little in that direction and have considered where that can take me and whether I can go into schools and speak to kids about creative writing. So in a way, I've sort of come back to teaching in some respects, but it's on my terms and how I'd like to do that. So yeah, dreams are definitely editable, and sometimes things like that, I didn't see that as a way forward in business or in my life, but I enjoy it so much. So I'm really glad that I made that decision to teach creative writing to kids, because it's been amazing for me. I know the children get a lot out of it as well, and I'm excited to see where that will go to.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Kat, and for your chapter in Dreams and Determination. I know that this chapter is going to be so inspiring for other people who are wanting to take the leap on their dreams, but not knowing where to start. So thank you so much for sharing with us.
It's all right. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, no problem at all. So thank you for everybody who has tuned in. If you'd like to grab your copy of Dreams and Determination, you can pre-order right now at wcwpress.com. Thanks again, Kat, and thank you everyone for tuning in. We will see you all next time. Bye for now.
Peace.